Reservation bill pending for 3 decades now for want of unanimity. Now, in the last few weeks, several parties, including the BJD and the BRS, have demanding reviving this bill, while Congress has passed a resolution at its Hyderabad Congress Working Committee meeting on Sunday. I filed this report earlier. Let's take a look. The Women's Reservation Bill has been in the ice box for a very long time. While many have over the decades staunchly supported it, it is also true that each time the bill came up for discussion or for passage, the Indian Parliament had seen high drama and very hostile resistance, at least from some quarters. From misogynist comments about women to physical scuffles and high-pitched debates, the bill really has seen it all. Let's begin by explaining what the Women's Reservation Bill is. While the Women's Reservation Bill proposes to reserve 33% of seats in the Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies for women. What about the history of this? It was in 1971 when the first Committee for Women was formed, whose primary task really was to look into the matter of women's representation in democratic bodies. However, this committee did not demand a reservation in legislative assemblies, but a reservation in local bodies. As a result, the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments were passed, and 1/3 of the total seats were reserved for women in panchayats and urban local bodies. The Women's Reservation Bill was first introduced in Parliament in 1996 by the United Front government of H.D. Deve Gowda. The bill failed to get the approval of the House and lapsed with the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. In the year 1998, the Atal Bihari Vajpayee-led government reintroduced the bill in the 12th Lok Sabha. History then repeated itself. The bill failed to get support and lapsed once again. It was reintroduced again in 1999, 2002, 2003 and then 2008. Even though there was support for it within the Congress party, the BJP and the left parties, the bill failed to receive majority votes. In 2014, the BJP promised 33% reservation for women in its manifesto and repeated the promise in the 2019 agenda. None of this was followed by any concrete action. Why is this bill really the need of the hour? Well, as per the Gender Gap Report 2023 of the World Economic Forum, India ranks 127 out of 146 in terms of gender parity. A report by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs mentions that out of 542 members in Lok Sabha, only 78 are women, not even half of the total population. The percentage of women members of Parliament in Lok Sabha is almost 15%, while in Rajya Sabha it is around 14%. According to the Inter-Parliamentary Union, India has a fewer percentage of women in the lower house than its neighbours such as Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and even Bangladesh. A dismal record indeed. The bill is needed not only to have equal representation but also to empower thousands of women who have the potential to play an important role in the mainstream political structure. Now for the arguments for the bill. Proponents of the bill argue that affirmative action is imperative to better the condition of women since political parties are inherently patriarchal. Today, India has a high percentage of crimes against women, low participation of women in the workforce, low nutrition levels and a skewed sex ratio. Reservations, proponents believe, will ensure that women form a strong lobby in Parliament to fight for issues that are often ignored. A 2010 study by the Harvard Kennedy School showed that female representation in village councils increased responsiveness to concerns such as drinking water, infrastructure, sanitation and roads, for example. Many argue that the discussion is not about a bill alone but about changing powerful, entrenched interest in the Indian polity. Political parties also now realize the potential the women voters hold. In the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, almost as many women as men cast ballots. Most government schemes are now directly aimed to woo women. Gauging the public mood, both the BJP and the Congress, in their respective manifestos for 2014 and then 2019 parliamentary elections, expressed their commitment to passing this bill.